Namaste, my friends. You're with Ali and Oli again on the channel of Spiritual Path and Road to Happiness. We'll start on a sad note. I opened a Facebook today and I have a number of people that I am in touch with, my friends, my colleagues. So one of the person that I know posted today that his daughter shaved her head on a YouTube and almost instantly gained millions of viewers and followers. And here I am in that difficult time trying to turn people to see the different aspect of our life. And I got 60 viewers. I've been doing this for almost a year now. My channel exists almost a year now, and I got 60 people. So my initial thought was, people don't want to be saved, people don't want to be spiritual. It's not needed right now at this time. People need to be entertained, and if you have something that is outrageous or brave in a way, or crazy, then you instantly can get attention. But if you try to share something that's extremely important but lost almost on this planet, no one shows the interest. And I felt discouraged maybe, and I felt like maybe it's time to stop doing what I'm doing and close my channel. People are not sharing. Even of those 60 who follows me, half of them are not watching, and no one is writing any questions lately because the attention is on a COVID-19 and people are going crazy. But then I thought again, and I thought, okay, so the sadness or discouragement is not the best way to be. And then I thought of those 60 who do follow me, and I thought, okay, out of a million that their attention got somewhere else, I do have those 60 people that are worthy, and I want them to know what I learned so far, and I want them to progress the way I did, because I do believe that it's extremely important to be self-aware and to be connected with your higher spirits. So I decided that until I have even one viewer, I probably will do what I do, because you guys are important to me, and everyone is important to the higher spirits who are helping us here through the difficult time. So thinking of the difficult time and thinking of people who are home on isolation and on a quarantine, I thought, a lot of you guys do whatever you do, and I'm not going to judge, because I see comments on the Facebook as well. I see how people either drinking or doing games or watching news, hoping for the better news. You do whatever you do, but I thought I will share with you what I would do. And today I'm going to talk to you about yoga. Yoga is, a lot of people think that yoga is physical aspect, and yoga is postures that you do in order to improve your health. And to some extent, yes, it will improve your health, but it's not. It's way more to it. And today I wanted to share with you what is in yoga, and what does that mean to practice yoga. So I have the book here that we've got while we were living in ashram in India, and yoga, meditation, and chanting at Pulchati Ashram. If you ever want to go there and travel, this is the place I would recommend you to stay. So the booklet that we've got was explaining to us the 8 limbs of yoga, and that's what I wanted to read to you today, so you would have better understanding what is that yoga. The 8 limbs of yoga. It is believed that Yoga Sutras were written around the 2nd century BC. Patanjali was the first yogi to draw together and organize the spiritual practices and principles already in existence at that time. This compilation is known as the Yoga Sutras, or the 8 limbs of yoga. So here it is. Those aspects, eight limbs, they're still divided on 2, and the first one is yama, and it's social restraints, and the second one is niyama, personal observances. So yama and niyama. So I will start with yama, social restraints. So the first one, ahimsa, it's means non-violence or absence of harm. So ahimsa is to act, speak, and think in a way that will not cause any harm to yourself, other beings, or nature, now or in the future. A lot of us practice that without even thinking of it as that's what we practice yoga. We try not to harm animals, we try not to harm people that we know, our friends or strangers, and that is what it is. But the view on it in yoga is also deeper than just not harm. It's almost like you have to understand that what you do to people or to yourself, you're creating your karma, and whatever you send out will come back. And for that reason, you should try not to. Whatever you send out, it should be helpful, and it should not be harmful. So that's the ahimsa. The second one is asteya. It's not stealing. Most people that I know would not steal, but again, let me just read it and I will explain what that means in yoga. Asteya is an absence of greed and desire to hoard, to collect or have lots of things. It requires a combination of contentment, simplicity, and charity. So people think that stealing is only if I take possession of someone, but stealing can be way more harmful if you steal someone else's time as well, or stealing hope or other things. So it's way, it's a broader aspect in the yoga. So if you ask questions like why, or if you ask questions with attempt to prove that your opponent is wrong, or you want to be right all the time, so you are wasting someone else's time, because it doesn't matter where you stand. If your opinion is different from other people, it's okay, let go, because they have right to have their own opinion. So don't steal their time trying to prove otherwise, just walk away. And that's what means in yoga non-stealing, asteya. So the third one is satya, truthfulness. Satya is to be the genuine, honest, virtuous, and truthful. On a deeper level, it means to question the difference between fact and fiction, truth and opinion. So here it is. So you just need to find the truth, and you need to be honest with yourself and others, because honesty will take away that feeling of fear. When you're not telling the truth, someone will find out and you're going to face the consequences. So if you don't do those things, then you don't have to fear about being caught. And again, truthfulness is also, if you are not sure of what you're preaching, then do more research before you state it's the absolute truth. And I know that for myself, been studying all this for years, and only less than a year I started to share my knowledge publicly with people who are willing to hear it. And yet I do have a greater understanding that the absolute truth is something that you're not gonna gain from one person, or gonna gain in one book or one session or one class. It's very, very deep. It's big. It's huge. And even if you think you know the answer, but someone tells you, okay, I heard something else, I read something else, don't step into argument. Just check again, or don't believe everyone who tells you that they know. Check for yourself and use your intuition. The fourth one, Brahmacharya, conduct that leads to God. Brahmacharya is a conduct that focuses on a spiritual journey. It is the control of the senses and the channeling of sexual energy for the purpose of deep meditation. So for those who really decide to find that absolute truth, you will eventually you will step on that journey of spirituality. And when you start meditating seriously, not just for relaxation, but with the aim to connect, you will see that you will need a lot of energy, especially at the beginning. So you will have to learn how to use your energy, how not to waste energy in order to get to the certain levels during the meditations. And sexual energy is quite strong, and if you are using that often, and especially if you are not in love but doing it just for the purpose of doing that, or with a partner that you know is not the one that you are sharing everything, your views on life, your views on the spiritualities, and on life. It's just one night stand or whatever people are doing. This is the energy that wasted, really. So if you don't have a partner that you're with, I would not recommend just waste that sexual energy, that tantra energy on random sex with random people, because it will reduce your energy level that you will need in the meditation. So that's my understanding, and that's what I heard from people that I learned from, that it's quite important to control that energy and use it in a different aspects. It doesn't mean that you don't have to have any relationship or intimate relationship, but it's just because that energy is quite strong. I would strongly recommend you to have a partner that is on the same page with you, and the partner, instead of just randomly having some short relationship. Because if you are stepping on a spiritual path, you will learn that it's very important to keep yourself among the vibration that are vibrating on the higher frequencies and sharing your beliefs. All right, let's move on to the fifth one, and it's aparigraha. It's non-attachment. Parigraha is non-possessiveness. This not only means freedom from the desire to attain material possession, but also from emotional attachment, intellectual ideas, and opinions. So it's a good one. It doesn't mean that you suddenly have to feel or make yourself distance from your family or friends. No, it doesn't mean that. It means that you need to analyze in what relationship you are with certain people and see if you are attached to them for the wrong reason, because you don't want to be lonely, or no one's better partner not available, or whatever you feel of yourself, and you feel like, okay, I don't have anyone and I don't know, I'm feeling so low, so I will just have someone, but I will just grab to it so hard that it's gonna damage my health, but at least I will have someone. So this is something, or possession of your like physical possession, for example, a car. Like some people have a few cars, and it's God forbid something happened to those cars, and it's almost like, oh my gosh, it's a tragedy. No, if you have a car to drive because you have that need, then it's okay. But if you are collecting cars or invest too much your energy into having it, then you're stepping over and having that loss of energy because you possess too many things, because you're so attached to them that you buy them, and then you make sure that they're safe. You are buying insurance, you are building the fence around, and you're doing things to protect them because you're too attached to them, and you're wasting your money and you're wasting your energy. So that's what it is. And you have to also understand that sometimes you lose things, and it's okay as long as you are not losing your mind over it, and be able to let go, because we do gonna learn and face some losses and gains as well. It's almost like you have to know how to lose, because it's way harder than to win. And I want you to think about that, because a lot of people are okay to win, and they know how they're going to feel if they do. But if you lose, the feelings of losing something or someone, almost unbearable, and people are not doing well by coping with the losses. So those are 5 aspects of yama, of the social restraints. And it's a lot of people that I know, they're practicing all of them, and they have no idea that this is the way of yogi life, and they are practicing yogi, but they have not identify themselves as a yogis, but they do. So that tells me that the yoga is closer to us than we think. And if you know this, then maybe you will look into on all that you are already doing from a little bit different perspective or angle, and you will see more of something that wonderful that you are doing. All right, so we are moving to the niyama number 2. It's the personal observances. So also 5 things in there. Saucha, purity. Saucha means to keep your body, mind, and environment clean. Santosha, so the first one, Saucha. So what does that mean? The body, mind, and environment clean. So not only you, as yogic would do, they will take a shower twice a day maybe, or at least once a day. They clean their mind pure as well, which is mean your thoughts. You are thinking of good and positive thoughts. You're wishing everyone well, and the environment clean. It means not only your house clean, but also the people in the company you're with also pure. You are not socializing with people who are vibrating on the low frequencies, only possess thoughts of negative, wishing ill to someone, or want to gain more, want to make money for just money, and stuff like that. So you you try to focus on that as well. The second one is santosha, contentment, and santosha means being content with whatever life brings, accepting both loss and gain calmly and with balance. Because as I said already, life is just a different, every day. And one day we're gonna gain something, the other day we're gonna lose something. And if you can receive both with calmness and with the inner calmness, with the balance, you're not gonna go hysterical or over something that you lose, someone I don't know, broke into your car, and there was a bag there that you paid so much money, and you lost that bag, and oh my God, and you are just losing your balance. So ability to deal with that in a calmness manner is gonna help you, and ability to let go. Okay, they're never gonna find my purse. It's okay. I'm gonna survive that. It's also something that yogi try to practice. So inner balance, inner calmness is what they're after. Tapas, austerity. Tapas requires extreme self-discipline and a lack of attachments to comfort. This kind of willpower enables yogi to sit for many hours meditating, fast, or for several days, and to bathe in the Ganga in the winter. So this is quite interesting for me because the self-discipline and lack of attachment to comfort tells me when I'm doing that, I know that if I am in a position or situation that I lose my comfort, then I'm gonna receive it in a calm and balanced manner. And today with that quarantine is actually something that can prove that yes, the situation may present itself, and if we are not losing our mind because we lost ability to use the toilet paper and something else, you can always find a way. You can always use the water to bathe yourself and keep clean, or find a way without losing your mind. So practicing the simple life, practicing minimalism, if you wish, is always the way, because the more possessions we have, the more attachments and the more anxiety to keep it as it is, and fear of losing it and all that. But again, the discipline is really important because for example, I know for some people it's really hard to get up early in the morning and meditate for at least 10-15 minutes or 20 minutes. But if you start using the discipline and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do now because it's important to me, then you will find it actually helps you and helps your routine, and you are getting up earlier and you have more hours to your day. You can do more things, and it's you're showing your devotion. You're showing that you're actually doing more than you normally would do to be able to connect with this spiritual side of yourself, with your spiritual energies that are created us. So it's quite important to do the askeza or some kind of discipline to minimize the comfort with at least a few things. Not just, I'm not suggesting you go and move into caves and sit there and meditate, but it's something that you could actually do. Something that, for example, I'm not going to eat meat because it's not good to kill animals or be a part of that process, for example. And that's what I mean, like restrict your diet or restrict what you do in certain way, or actually replace. For example, you want to go meet with your friends on Friday night, but you know it's going to be drinking or smoking weed or something that you don't feel like it's helpful for you to do or be exposed to. Then saying no, it's quite hard, but if you do, you will be proud of yourself because you are purifying yourself and keeping away from people who are not ready for the spiritual connections, for a spirituality, and you make your decision. Okay. Swadhyaya, I think that's how you say it. It's a self-study. Swadhyaya means an intelligent understanding of truth. This requires study of oneself and the scriptures. Swadhyaya is to face yourself as you really are, observing the ego and its motivations. That's something that helped me a lot, because unless you realize who you are truly, you can or face it, who you are and what you're doing, you can start healing, because you need to see what's the obstacles, is that inside of me that I'm struggling with. You need to analyze yourself to see what is that. Am I anxious? Am I angry all the time? Or my ego is too big and I'm suffering from it? You need to see yourself in that true sense, and admit to yourself, yeah, this is the aspects of me that are not healthy for myself, and I need to change them. I need to practice something else. I need to control my emotions, or I need to control my desires, and I'm willing to be a better person. I'm willing to be a different person. I want to be the person that radiate love, and that's what I want to be. So be truthful with yourself and study your thoughts. Start with studying what's in your head. What are you thinking of? Is that positive? Is that negative? Are you in the future or are you in the past? Why you are not right here, right now? And if you are, what are you doing right here, right now? Is that positive? Is that negative? What's my reaction? What's my thought? So that it's really going to help you. And also, if you're going to start reading the scriptures, well, I started with Srimad, and I read the laws of Manu, and I'm not even saying the Bible because I read it twice. But anyhow, when you're on your stepping on a spiritual way, the universe will start helping you, and right people will step into your life, and right books will appear. So those books that you want to read, those that will educate you and help you to be a better person, so they are the one that you want to focus on. And the last one, the fifth one, is Ishvara Pranidhana, devotion to God. Ishvara Pranidhana means surrendering to God, or surrendering the ego. And that's what it took me a while to understand that. Now, after a number of years of meditation, I finally understood that the ego is not me. It's just something that grew in me as a personality, and it's not through me, and I don't want it anymore. I want to be the true version of me. And same with my body. It's just a temporary costume that I'm wearing while I'm in this physical environment, but it's not through me, and I want to find me as me. And that's why I wanted to give it all this to that higher spirit who created me, because I want to find my true self. And that's what meditation helping me to do, and that's what it means to giving up your ego and finding your true self. So those are only two aspects of the 8 limbs of yoga. I'm not going to take a lot of your time, but I will continue with that in the next video, because it's 8 of them all together. And today we focus only on yama and niyama. And this is something that you probably practice most of it without knowing that you're practicing yoga. You just need to look at this from the yoga perspective. And the rest of the other aspects, I will talk about them in the next video. So I wanted, before I say my goodbye, I wanted to read to you a little poem written by Dalai Lama. Here it is. Are you the ocean or the wave? The wave never has an existence apart from the ocean. In fact, the ocean is the wave. Similarly, thinking of oneself as an individual that is separate from the rest of the creation is just an illusion. But if you think of yourself as an integral part of the ocean of creation, then you have the strength of the deep ocean behind you. So on that note, I wish you all the best. If you like what you hear, write me a comment, a sign, or share with your friends. It will help me. It will give me an ideas. Your question always give me an ideas what to talk and what to share with you. Until the next time, namaste.